So just a few months ago, Orly and I sailed our boat all the way from Maryland down to the Bahamas via the ICW and a little bit of offshore sailing. Now we're in the Exumas. We found some of the clearest water that we've ever been in. We've sailed in some of the best conditions that we've ever sailed in. And this week we sail in some of the clearest, most pool-like water we have ever sailed in, and it's absolutely insane. This is one of those moments that we will remember forever, and we have showed so many pictures to people of this exact moment. This was insane. But then 24 hours later, we go through one of our lowest points out here in the Bahamas where something kind of catches us off guard and we have to come up with a solution. The highs and lows of sailing are true. Everyone goes through them, and this is just one of those experiences that we want to share with you guys. As Liveaboard sailors, this is just something that we go through. So hope you guys enjoy the video this week. If you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and enjoy the video. Orly and I live and travel aboard our little 37-foot sailboat, Silver Lining. We refit the boat, quit our jobs, and now we sail full-time.
Yay! Got it. Wow, that's a nice one.
Yeah. Subscribe if you're new here, and welcome aboard. Wow.
Isn't that what we're calling it?
Peach's Castle?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's crazy. I can't imagine owning something like that. Good morning, everyone. We are up early again today. We woke up before the sun got up and we got out here for a sail to go 45 miles down towards Georgetown in the Exumas because we are catching a flight out of there in a few days, so we're trying to get ourselves close to the marina that we're going to keep the boat in for like a week. The marina that we're staying at is known for really a tricky entrance because the entrance faces the ocean. So in poor conditions and even in decent conditions, the inlet to get into the marina gets really pretty nasty. There was a super yacht that beached there like 3 weeks ago, so yeah, we're just trying to time the weather right and make sure that we can actually get in there because we have a wedding that we're going to, and I'm the best man in that wedding and I cannot miss this wedding. So this has been a little bit stressful to make sure that we can get into this marina and not miss the window to get in, because if we do, like, that's it. There's no other airport around here, not in the Exumas, that we can get to and keep the boat somewhere. So it's been stressful. It's been not like crazy stressful, but it's just been on the back of our minds for the past couple of weeks as we've been watching the weather come in, just to see like when we can actually get into that marina. So we think we've got a window, we just got to make it there. It's kind of it. It's like maybe 7:45 in the morning. We've got 7 to 8 knots of wind. We're doing 3 to 4 knots. Hopefully the wind picks up a little bit more so we don't have to really motor, because we are going about 50 miles today, but it's beautiful. It's been chilly the past few days, but I mean, honestly, it's gorgeous. So we're loving it, and we're gonna keep making our way down towards Georgetown so we can get into this marina.
Simba. Which was the thing we did in high school when we played lacrosse. We'd be like, "Can you Simba me?" Simba.
Just made a shocking revelation. We've been sailing for months now, and I think back when we were on the Chesapeake, like before we left, I think we must have had a lot of wind or something, and I was adjusting the tracks for the jib sheets. Like I was adjusting these things, and now, like, since we've been sailing a lot down here, we haven't had to make any fine adjustments like that to like depower our sails. But as we've been sailing and tacking, I'm like, our tacking angles suck. Like, why is it that when we tack, we're like way over 90 degrees? I was like, I don't know, maybe it's the boat, maybe it's us, I don't know. And then I was looking at the sail, and I was looking at the telltales on it, and I was just looking at it, the shape was kind of funky, and I'm like, wait a second. So I went over and I looked at this track here, and I was like, maybe I'll move that car up a little bit to power it up. And then I went over and I was like, what is it like on this side? This track here, I've already moved it. It was like way back here. So this is the one that I depowered at some point. I can't remember when, but I did one side and I was going to do the other one we tacked, and maybe we never tacked, or maybe I forgot. And then this track has always been over here. So now hopefully our tacking angles are way better. That actually makes me excited to be able to go upwind, because before I thought our tacking angles sucked. I thought it was our boat or something that we did, and clearly it's something that we did. So that should make a difference. For anyone that doesn't know, those tracks can go, those cars go up and down on those tracks. So your jib sheet attaches at your winch, and then it first attaches to the deck here on one of these tracks, or one of these cars. And basically this car, you can lift a pin, and you can move this around wherever you want it. It can travel all down here, and then this boat, we actually have one out on the tow rail too, for like the spinnaker, and if we're carrying like a really large head sail, we can put it out there. So basically, you can study your sail. You got a telltale there, you got a telltale there, and there's another one for us, there's one way up there too. And basically, you can take these and move them forward and backwards to get a perfect shape on that head sail. But you can also do it if you're in a lot of wind. You can depower it by moving the track backwards. And if you're in not very much wind and you want the full power of the sail, you move it forward until all those telltales are doing the same thing. They're showing you the same thing. And that's where we have them now. But like I said, this one was back like, I don't know, like probably 2.5 or 3 feet. Like I moved it way back. So that's funny. Let's see what our tacking angles are like. I bet they're going to be way better. Now, I've talked a lot about crystal clear water on this channel, and I think we've actually found some of the clearest water that we've ever sailed in. We're sailing right now on the Exuma Bank, and the water here is 6 feet deep with some of the brightest white sand in the world underneath of it. Combine that with clear ocean water, and this is like sailing in a pool. With depths this shallow, we had to keep an eye out for coral heads and on the chart so that we didn't end up aground on one of the really shallow spots.
Any tension? Oh. I am hoping to make egg rolls, but unless we catch something, then maybe we can make like another poke bowl or poke bowl. Or egg roll tuna, something, but we're in very, very shallow water. What are we in?
Yeah, we're just on like 9 feet of water on the bank. It's just sand.
Yeah.
There's probably not many fish. Okay, so it's almost 1 o'clock now. We got
up
out,
at like...
We got out of bed at kind of late,
8.
8:30.
Yeah.
So one thing that we have going on behind the scenes on all this to help us afford this is we rent our house out.
Yeah, I think
which
we've
talked
mentioned that
about
a few
little bit.
times. We rent the house out.
So we've had a couple issues with the house come up, normal
Always
appliances
happens.
and stuff like that. But this morning,
Which we have a property manager that helps take care of that, but really the property manager alleviates the situation until she can message us, and then we try to figure out what's going on. So this morning we woke up and Sailor turned on Starlink and he got numerous messages from our
right off the bat.
property
I got like
manager.
20 messages, which is not good. And that was at like 1 in the morning. I'm like, what the f? Like,
Oh my
emergency at 1
gosh.
in the morning, and it's been 7 or 8 hours. So that's why I was like,
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
Yeah. I guess a valve from our bathroom like broke, so there was water everywhere. But we were thinking worst case scenario every 5 seconds. We were like, well, what if I was thinking there was like 3 feet of water in the basement. I was like, good God, okay, we need to get like one of those vacuum pumps.
A good amount of water in the basement. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that like, you know, a small puddle that's kind of big, or is that like 6 inches of water in the basement?
Fortunately, one of the renters knew the shut-off valve or how to shut it off. Thank goodness.
Saved us tens of thousands of dollars in
Yes.
disaster cleanup.
Which, I don't even like to think about that. So yeah, that crisis was luckily averted.
But
It's
it was a
fixed right
really
now.
stressful, like 3 hours, 4 hours this
Yeah.
morning, trying to find a plumber who could work on it right now.
Yeah.
Trying to find one of our neighbors to go look in the basement to see how much water there
Which
was.
fortunately, one of our neighbors was so kind. I worked with them and I called them and I was like, hey, like, I'm so sorry. Is there a way that you could just stop by the house? So it's been a headache here and there, just figuring out all that stuff. But it would be so much easier if we could just sell the house, take that money, and then we're like, okay, like, we have this, but it's our home.
I don't think either of us can do that.
No, I have such sentimental value both to this
It's a
sailboat
beautiful house.
and I don't think I could ever get rid of this sailboat, and I don't think I could ever get rid of our home. Luckily, there's no water damage. Plumber's in there now, and he just said it's a quick and easy fix. So we're like, phew, okay, good. But we did it. I'm still in my pajamas, technically. Well, yeah.
We're going to work on the engine now and bleed the fuel a
And
little
then
bit.
hopefully we'll have some fun later.
Yeah, because this place...
It's gorgeous.
We got here and we were like, oh my God, this is the prettiest place we've ever been to. And then we had all that happen, but like, it's amazing here. The water's
Beautiful.
crystal clear.
It's funny.
Beaches, little cliffs.
I was talking to my neighbor and she was like, wow, where are you guys? Like, to them, it's so exciting. And I'm like, we're in the Bahamas. Like, yeah, it's great. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then I show her and she's like, wow, that is just so gorgeous. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but we're like freaking out. And she's like, yeah, meanwhile here it's like, 30 degrees. And I'm like, I need to remember to put things into perspective that, one, we chose to do this, and two, this is like an adventure, and part of it being an adventure is shit is sometimes going to happen, and it is going to be very overwhelming and scary, and
The longer we do it, the better we'll get at it.
this is why I'm like, we have to just keep doing it. We have to just keep doing it. Yeah, keep going.
Not announcing any plans yet. Not doing that.
What do you
We want to
mean?
keep it a secret. We haven't told people what our plans are yet.
Oh,
Like
well,
long-term
I told my
plans.
parents.
But
And my parents
these
were like,
people don't
what?
know.
I was like, yeah, this is what we're planning to do. We're planning on beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
Oh, we could have rode right up to the beach.
Yeah.
So Orly and I thought we'd come on this little hike on the beach because it's the end of the day and we spent until like 2 o'clock today trying to figure out the house stuff, and it is finally solved. We don't have any major issues at the house, so we thought we'd come out and enjoy the beach. I was in the middle of editing, but sometimes you just gotta get off the boat and go for a walk. Wow, this place is pretty cool, huh? Feels like you're in the jungle, kind of. And yeah, this place is really cool. We were told that this was a old research facility and that you could go on this hike up this hill. Oh wow, that's the ocean, huh? Holy crap.
I know.
definitely had a big misconception about the Bahamas. I thought it was going to be all beaches, palm trees, like all the good tropical stuff. I was not expecting it to be so rugged and rocky. It's really cool. Like, I like it like that. It's so cool. And you find like little beaches in places, and you find places like this that are super rocky. It's really cool. I didn't think the Bahamas were going to be like this. Like, I really thought everything was just going to be beaches.
I said, isn't it crazy? I mean, just what a day. The stress of everything that we went through for this.
The highs and lows, huh?
Yeah. Today we started off on a very big low where we were just freaking out. I mean, I just got out of my pajamas like an hour ago.
Now the sun's about to go down and we're walking the beach. Well,
and
kind of.
Yeah, I got to walk these cliffs. I mean, it's beautiful. Then it puts it all into perspective, and then you're like, yes, it's worth it. I mean, I think it's like not 50-50, like play and, hard work. Definitely not even, but I think it makes this like totally worth it. So yeah, the highs and lows of sailing in this lifestyle are so real. And this is a conversation that comes up when we talk to other cruisers a lot, and it's, did you sell your home, or did you rent your home, or do you just leave it there vacant? And for us, we're one of the people that rented our home out, and we have to constantly think about the house and the stuff back home. That's just the reality of the situation that we're in. We don't want to sell our home. At some point, we want to go back to that house, and we want to live a life back in that house. But until then, we'll continue to rent it out and live aboard and travel the world. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free and it helps us grow the channel. We would love it if you followed along with our videos every week. And I just want to give a big shout out to all of our patrons. You guys are awesome, and you guys are a huge reason of why we can keep doing this. If you would like to become a patron, you can do so for as little as $3 per month. I'll leave a link in the description below for a patron where you can go and join the crew there. We also have a website, tgesailing.com. There's an About Us page if you want to learn more about us. There's a way to contact us on there, and we also have a shop on there that has shirts, hats, and koozies for sale if you would like to help support us that way. And since you guys made it to the end of this episode, I want to ask you a question. If you are curious about how we afford this financially, because I'll share a little secret, we are not independently wealthy, and we are also not zeroing out our bank account for this. So if you would like to know how we achieve this lifestyle and how we're able to do this, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll think about making a video for it. So until next time, see you guys. You always think, or you see videos of people like when they're in the Bahamas and they look so beautiful and always in bikinis and hair is all nice, and meanwhile I'm like, we've got 5-day-old shirts on.